Welcome back to Glow Up With Niecey. I'm your host, Niecey, your weekly glow up space for confidence, self-worth, and soft life on a budget. Today's episode is all about becoming her, lessons we are learning in our 30s. But before we dive in, here is the glow up affirmation for this week. I am her, and I'm becoming her every day. I was recently thinking about what were things I would love to tell my younger self. Then I thought about it. Those lessons that I learned in my 20s are what helped shape me. This is why I knew it would be so nice to have one of my best friend soulmate, it's an inside joke, Fatima. Due to Fatima's and I's schedule, her responses were pre-recorded, but overall, I am more than happy and more than grateful to have her on the show today. Here are 3 big topics that we're going to discuss. Your biggest lessons about self-worth, faith, love, and growth, the power of becoming before arriving, and what you want your future self to know. So this is the first question that I'm going to ask. A lesson your 20s taught you the hard way.
So I wouldn't say necessarily a hard way. I think it's something that's gradually over time that I had to learn amongst many other lessons. But I would have to say in my 20s, in your 20s, you are young. You feel like, I have so much life to live. I have all this life in front of me. You have, you're graduating or you're already graduated, you're starting your first career job, and you're encountering all these people, separate from your core group of friends that you have or your family or anything like that. And I feel that one of the lessons that I had to learn was that you don't have to please everybody. You have to live your life for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you live for other people, you're not going to be happy. You start doing things for other people just to make them happy, but as soon as you do what you need them to do, that's it. They only come back to you if they need something again, or they don't find, a need for you at the moment because you only when they need something. I want people to understand that in your 20s, if you decide this is the career you want to go to, if you want to do medical school, lawyer, if you want to do something, that typical of, all right, this is what the career path is, this is what my family says that I should do, cool. But if in some time that you realize, I actually don't want to do this. I don't have the passion for it, but I have the passion for something else. I have a passion for starting a business. I have a passion for learning the arts or something like that, to do it. Do it while you can. In your 20s, if it's just you, if you have no, real responsibilities, and you could just do it. Live your life for yourself, because at the end of the day, it's your life. At the end of the day, nobody else could tell you what to do, because you're the one that's living it day in, day out. Every time God blesses you to wake up to see another day. So I just feel that pleasing people doesn't help you in the long run at all, because at the end of the day, sometimes you get the short end of the stick. So really just live your life for yourself and live it to the fullest.
For me, lessons that I learned in my 20s that I learned the hard way is not everyone is your friend. And trust me, I have a whole podcast episode for season 2 that I cannot wait to discuss when it comes to glowing up and friendship, because I have a lot to say. But for me, I had to learn that not everybody is your friend, and not everybody wants to see you doing well or better than them. And when I mean this, it doesn't relate to any of my childhood friends. It relates to more friends that I have developed and created in my time living here in Florida. And I had to understand that not everybody's my friend, and I wish that's a lesson that I'd never had to learn. I always wish that I came across good friends and friends that wanted to see me do well and wish me well, and I wish I had that time to have friends like that, but I never got to experience friends like that, and I'm not upset about it. I'm okay about it, because I feel like if I've never experienced that when it came to my 20s, I wouldn't be so protective of myself when it comes to now my 30s, when it comes to friendships, because I'm very big on friendships now, and there's certain things that I would have probably let slide in my 20s that I'm not going to let slide today. And that's a hard lesson and a hard truth and a hard pill that I have to swallow now that I'm in my 30s, that hey, life happens, it is what it is, but move on. And let's be real, if we never experience that type of if I never experienced that type of friendship in my 20s, it wouldn't help shape me to who I am today, to be very selective and to be very particular who I want in my space and my environment. Because there are a lot of people out here that are jealous of you and you don't even know it. It could be people that you see every day that low key you think they're wishing you well and they're not. They're preying on your downfall. But that's a hard lesson that I had to learn in my 20s. So what does becoming her mean to you?
Becoming her mean to me in this stage of my life is becoming the best version of myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, just becoming the best version of myself, well-rounded. I just feel that, in this stage of my life right now, I'm all about just elevating everything, just really being happy with myself. In this day and age, everything is so focused on social media. You see how people post and everything like that, and they curate this lifestyle that, everyone wants to envision. I just feel that becoming comfortable with myself, knowing that what I have to offer, knowing that I am the best version and that I'm always elevating in all these different, aspects of my life. I just feel that that's what becoming her means, meaning that I am strong in my foundation. No one could waver me. If I don't want to do anything, the answer is no. And then I don't feel guilty about it. That when I look myself in the mirror, I'm truly happy with the woman that I see looking back at me. Because, that's what life is about. You go through all these trials and tribulations, and you just realize in the end that you have to be comfortable within your skin. You have to know who you are in order to weather the storms. So that's why I definitely believe like becoming her means that you're living your life for yourself, no one else, just for you, and you're happy with the person that you are, that no one could sit there and tell you that you're not this person, you're being fake. No, you could stand your ground and know that no matter what people say, it's not gonna shake you because you're.
So I definitely love that answer that Tima provided. And one thing about becoming her, what it means to me is developing a routine where I continue to glow differently. I become more confident, more established in my career. My finances are better and in order. I'm developing more hobbies that I love to do, and my relationship to God is continuing to grow closer and closer. And that's a vital process in becoming her, because people think becoming her is just being materialistic and you got to have this luxury thing, you have to have that. That could be part of it, but I think overall, when you are trying to find ways to better yourself, becoming her could be people that are going back to school and elevating themselves in that way, like getting their bachelor's, their master's, their PhD, getting a certification, going into trade. That's becoming her, because you're becoming a new version of yourself. The reason why I'm, I think of becoming her as more confident and more establishing your like career and finances, because I feel like when we're at this time in our 30s, and it doesn't go for everybody because everybody is still trying to figure out and find themselves, but I feel like when you're in your 30s, you get more confident. And when I mean more confident is that you experience so many things in your 20s or had so much experiences that now when you are in your 30s, you know better. Now I'm more in my career, so I feel like I'm becoming her and I'm still becoming her because I'm getting positions that I never thought I would have got in my 20s, because I've told you guys the story many times. I didn't know where the hell I was going in my 20s, what the hell I was doing. I didn't even think about any of that. That's what I think I was becoming her, because feel like when I'm in my 30s now, I feel like I'm still going to continue to grow. I probably may, in the next 2-3 years, be in a higher position than I am today. And I think that's something that I'm very happy for and very proud of at the moment, because that's what becoming her is to me. And finances is huge to me. And I know I told you guys before about my debt story. I feel like at that time when I become her is when I learned to be better at my finances, know not to overspend, and to be more within my budget, but still treat myself. I think that's something that I have learned and I'm continuing to learn. And yeah, I know I fall through the slips and cracks here and there, but that's something that I feel like is more becoming her. Developing hobbies that I love. I feel like when you become her, you do develop hobbies because you get to learn yourself again. Because the things that you loved in your 20s, when you hit your 30s, you're not going to love them again. Or you're not going to love it the same way as you did when you were in your 20s. Like me, when I was in my 20s, I'm not going to lie to you, I loved going into the club. I loved getting dressed and going to the club and just seeing like guys there and listening to music, making sure I look good. I love that in my 20s. But now in my 30s, you can't catch me at a club or a lounge. Because when I see too much crowd and I start seeing people throwing up the gang signs, I'm out of there like swimwear. And literally, like, more so in my 20s, I develop hobbies I love doing. Like, literally towards my ending of my 20s to now in my 30s, I end up loving doing YouTube creation. And I felt like I was too old for it. But then I said, there's no age limitation on anything. It's the same thing about podcasting. I've grown to like it. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, like The Breakfast Club. I'm so thankful they have it on iHeart. Charlemagne's podcast. I used to listen to Horrible Decisions. I know they changed their name. But those podcasts, when I listen to, I never thought that would be something that I'll get into, something that I'll love doing. So that's a hobby that I enjoy doing. Tennis. Even though I haven't played tennis in a while because the summer has been hot, but that's something that I never thought I would have done. Like, honestly, I never seen myself doing that. But I want to expand my horizon. And I feel like that's why I'm so big on being the better version of myself. And I don't want to be looked at as trying to be something I'm not, or try to live this lifestyle that can never maintain. It's not even like that. It's just that when I find hobbies that I love doing, I want to stick to it. Because when you find hobbies that you love doing, you still have that sense of individuality for yourself. You still know yourself. You still value yourself. You still try to expand yourself and network, because life is all about networking. And I feel at this point now, that's how I know I want to become her. And then my relationship to God, to grow closer and closer, that's a huge thing in becoming her, because without God, I would not be here. Without God, I wouldn't have the blessings that I have today. And I have to continue with my relationship to grow closer and closer with him, because I have to be grateful and thankful for the things that I do have, because he was the one that brought that into my life. He's the one that gave me those opportunities that I cannot more than over thank him for. You know what I mean? Like, it's so happening. And then I'm also proud of Tima becoming her, because Tima elevated in so many ways, and I just love her motivation, her inspiration, and her work ethics. One thing about Tima, she does not play games, and she's always trying to find ways to better herself. She's always trying to find ways to elevate in her career, and that's one thing I love and admire about her. And she's always trying to find ways to better herself overall as an individual. So I value how she's becoming her, my other friends are becoming her, and I'm becoming her. So how do you stay grounded while growing?
Truthfully, sometimes I don't even feel like I'm staying grounded, to tell the truth. You know, you talk about like while leveling up, it's hard. You have your moments, but I really think that having those like people close to you in your corner rooting for you, that when you have bad days, when you feel like life is becoming too much, they're there for you. I'm the first person to tell you that. I don't necessarily, I'm the one that's usually there for everyone else. And, when it's reciprocated, I don't really take heed to it. I don't really accept it. But just even if in that moment that I don't want the help, just knowing that there's people in my corner offering the help, knowing that, hey, you're going through some things. I know in the moment that you may not want to express yourself or talk about it, but know that, hey, we're here to help shoulder it with you. It helps a lot, especially when you're leveling up, because you're going through growing pains. Like, there's things that you have to become honest with yourself. Like, you look in the mirror and you're like, there's flaws that you look at yourself and you're like, you know what, I need to change this, but I also have to come to terms with, you know what, you have these habits that you've been so used to having throughout your life that actually maybe you should try to change it. It could become detrimental in the long run, and you don't want to burn bridges. You want to be able to know that the people that you're surrounded by, the relationships that you gather, platonic, romantic, anything family, that that, hey, if you to communicate with them, that they're receptive to listen to it. They're like, okay, they hear you. They have an effective communication with you, and it's not that you're, all of a sudden you're burdening with them with all this, or they're taking offense to anything. I just feel that, having a strong community, or even having certain hobbies and stuff, just to really, really, really know that, yes, these times are hard. Yes, things may not be perfect. Yes, this is not how I want it to go, but just having faith and knowing that, taking it day by day, I feel would just definitely help to stay grounded, because if not, you're going to be in your brain the whole time. And that's a lot to deal with. So just know and take it day by day. Know you're not perfect, but know that you're actively working towards something. You're working towards a better goal. Definitely helps in the long run.
So that is a great topic. And thank you so much, Tima, for providing that. Because the way I stay grounded while glowing, I ensure that I have the right people around me. And the reason why I say that is because you want to have people around you that want to see you do well. And this goes for friends and family that support you and they want to see you win. And one thing about what Tima said to me before, Tima said I had to thank her for like watching my YouTube videos and listening to my podcast. And she said, support is free. That's the least I could do to help you and support you in your dreams and your goals. I want to be around people that help me stay grounded. And that's why even me having my relationship with God is what helps me to stay grounded. Because me praying to God, me talking to God, this is in my way. How can I expand? I want to do this. Give me the resources. That's God helping me to stay grounded. Me praying to Him, me giving thanks, me talking to Him, and trying to find ways to work on myself overall by learning the importance of saying no. And the way you have to stay grounded is this also goes to friendship. There are a lot of friendships that there are some people that do not want to see you doing better than them, and they try to bring you down the wrong path. And the whole time you're trying to stay grounded and you're trying to focus on elevating and glowing yourself up. And the reason why I say that is because I've heard many stories. You see a lot of football players and they're supposed to be prospects in the NFL. And they always have that one friend that, hey, do this and that. And they're not the friends that help you stay grounded. They're not the friend that tell you don't do this, you need to focus on that. They're not the friends that do that. They're the friends that want to see you doing what they're doing because they don't want you to doing better than them. And then that's how you see a lot of those college prospects. They end up in jail, dead, or God forbid, they're not able to play in career anymore. That's something that's a life lesson. That's like one thing I could say watching Aquila and the Bee. I'm not sure if you guys remember that with Keke Palmer. I remember the one scene, and this I've watched this movie like years ago. But I remember one scene when she was hanging out and one of the hood guys was like, oh, you were the one that does the spelling bee. And he was like, yeah, keep doing your thing, keep grinding. That's him helping her to stay grounded, to know that this life is not for you. Try to stay away from any of that because it's not for you. And he was there supporting, making sure that he had her back, support. That's people that you want that's going to be around you that helps you stay grounded. And I had to learn that things that do not benefit me will no longer affect me in any way. And that's how I had to really think about being grounded and staying grounded. So what's an advice you would tell your younger self?
Ooh. Honestly, I would tell my younger self, you are more than enough. You are more than enough, baby girl. Okay? Don't let no friend, don't let no partner, don't let family make you feel any less than what you are. You are more than enough. Okay? Don't rush to be an adult. Live life to the fullest. Live in the present. Live in the moment. Make all the memories. There'll be a time and a place where you will be an adult. And maybe, okay? You're going to be looking back like, actually, can I be my younger self for a minute? Because then you start thinking of bills and all this and that. It's a lot. Okay? When in reality, when you was young, you just thought of, so what am I going to do today? I can do whatever I want. You know? I would just say, yeah, you're more than enough. Don't rush to be an adult. Just live in the moment. Make all the memories that you can. Even if, you meet new people, okay, try new things, experience, do all of that. Do all of it. That would I would really tell my younger self, because I feel like, yes, in my young self, like I did it, you experience, doing all the experience, you're traveling, doing all that. I just really would instill even more that those moments of doubt that you had, the moments of where I compared myself to other people and where they were at in life and where I was at in life, and I started to feel like I was behind, I would really, really, really instill into myself that your time will come. You will look back and say, it just wasn't my time then, and this is my time now. So just really, 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 I would just tell myself, like, you're more than enough. You're more than enough. You pour and pour and pour and pour and pour into people, and just know that even if things don't work out, even if things don't go as you planned or whatever, because everything happens for a reason, just know that you did your part and that it's okay if things don't work out. It's okay, because that's life, and nothing's perfect in life. There's nothing perfect in life, but what's meant for you will always, always be meant for you. And that's what I would definitely tell my younger self, that it's going to be okay. It's always going to be okay. Have faith. It will be okay.
It's So for me, an advice I would tell my younger self is to start learning the importance of staying disciplined, consistent, and motivated from now, so it helps me to build that mindset in my 30s. The reason why I say that is in my 20s, I used to work out a lot, and I feel like I slacked here and there, and that's why I'm trying to play catch up in my 30s. But that's why I tend to fail at most, and I'm not as disciplined and motivated as I should be and I want to be. And I feel like if I had that mindset or shifted that mindset more in my 20s, it would have definitely helped me to continue to be consistent in my 30s. But I feel like that's a part of life, and that's a lesson that we're always going to learn. But overall, that mindset of staying disciplined when it comes to food, when it comes to working out, when it comes to just focus on myself and learning how to say no. That's something that I really wish I was more consistent with, and I had that type of motivation. But that's life, and that's how things happen. I have to understand that I cannot be too hard on myself, and I feel like that's another thing. I feel like we tend to be too hard on ourselves instead of giving ourselves grace, and that's something that I had to learn to tell myself, hey, you need to give yourself grace, because when you are trying to find ways to do better with yourself in life, you're gonna come across issues, you're gonna make mistakes, and it's we're all humans, so it happens. You know what I mean? Like, that happens because we're human. One thing by even talking with Tima on a daily basis or communicating with her, we know that, hey, that we wish things could have been differently, but we're happy that how things plan out today because we know better. And I just wish I had told my younger self to be more disciplined and in art of saying no. I could have benefited so much by saying no and not have so much other things affect me, but that's life. That's what helped build my mindset now in my 30s, why I'm more strict, why I'm more aggressive, why I'm more outspoken than I once were, and I'm happy for that, and I'm more than grateful for that. And that's another thing I wish I told my younger self. Stop being a people pleaser. Stop being a pushover. Stop being scared to speak your opinion because you feel like somebody might feel away. It's life. Like, you can't always be a yes man to people, and that's something that I had to learn. And once I realized that a lot of people only liked me because at this point now they saw me as a yes person, I had to say, oh hell no. Oh hell no, that's not gonna fly. And that's one thing that I'm more than grateful for my mom, because she always told me the art of speaking my voice. So lastly, what's a ritual that keeps you aligned?
You know, when I think about this question, a daily or weekly ritual that keeps me aligned, I don't have, it's not like a set thing like, okay, every Wednesday I do this, every, Thursday I do this. But some things that I do to help me stay aligned and focus on myself and try to make a conscious effort to pour into myself more is whether every time I keep up with my, manis and pedis appointments, do my hair or any beauty type of maintenance that I need to do. I make sure I keep up with that, throughout the month. I make sure that, I love reading, so I'll, give myself a little trip, go to Barnes and Nobles, go to the library, find new books so I can get lost in, do little hobbies I take care of, music, working out. I especially, when I work, because sometimes with my job, it's my hours. Sometimes I'm, doing different things. If I'm at the airport and all that, I make sure that when I get home, I decompress. Whether it's I take a good hour or so away from my phone and just time for myself, get some rest, sit, eat, just watch, or if it's guilty pleasure TV that I don't really have to have my brain moving. That's what really helps me stay aligned, because at the end of the day, it's like you get so lost in doing the same routine every day. If you work this, that, and the third, you meal prep, all this, you take care, other people, that you realize that you could get lost yourself, if you don't focus on you. So I always make sure that I'm doing at least something for myself throughout the week. I make sure that, because it could be a random day. I don't make sure that every Friday I do. No, it could be if I feel like it's the middle of the week and I'm near getting burnt out, I try to do something to just, center myself and say, look, push through. You got 2 more days. Push through it. And it's sad that we have this countdown of, it's at the end of the week. But sometimes it's just, you be having that, it'd be a week. And you're just like, I needed to get to Friday so I could really just reset and do what I got to do. So that's really just little things that I do for myself that just really, really keep a conscious effort of knowing that, hey, you need to make yourself a priority. You need to make yourself a priority, because you'll get lost in making sure that you're doing for everybody else. You're making sure that you're doing work, and work could get overwhelming, but you're trying to finish projects and everything. Hey, Remember that if you don't pour into yourself, you're not useful for anyone else. If your battery's depleted, how are you going to help other people when you're at 0%? So that's what that's what I tell myself to help myself stay aligned. Because as we all know, life be lifing. Okay?
So, with a ritual that keeps me aligned is just praying, talking, and thanking God. Those are rituals that I live by. Eat, love, pray. Praying to God, talking to God, thanking God. And that's literally the only thing that helps me in my day-to-day routine. And I'm more than thankful for that. And people have to understand, like, when you create a ritual, this is not you going around a bonfire and doing stuff like that. No, you creating a ritual is something that is going to help shift your mindset to becoming a better person and a better version of yourself. Is this something that you know that you're going to keep on doing and be more persistent and consistent with? You're going to be more disciplined and motivated with to do that. It's like you having a ritual could be just you praying. You could be probably doing a journal on a weekly basis. It could be you going to church on a weekly basis. It could you just be waking up giving thanks. It could be you waking up and just doing an affirmation. Those are different rituals that help people to become the best version of themselves and to become like her. But that's something that's very valuable. You have to learn how to find things that align with you. You have to learn how to find people that align with you. And I honestly think that when you're in your 20s, you have to experience certain things in life to help shape you in your 30s. We have to learn those lessons in our 20s. We have to learn our lessons in our younger selves because we want to be the people that we are today. As women, we have to understand that our self-worth is very important. You could have had low self-esteem in your 20s and have high self-esteem now in your 30s. You could have bad faith in your 20s to grow a better faith in your 30s. You could have gone through terrible relationships in your 20s to have good relationships in your 30s. Because me personally, I've been through some crappy relationships in my 20s, but not in my 30s. I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew what I wanted in a partner. I knew how I envisioned my partner. And I knew how I wanted my partner to act even when I'm not around. That's why my growth is so huge to me because I have that support system. And it goes back to when I was saying that having people that are help you be grounded while you're still glowing. You have to have a supportive circle. You have to have people around you that want to see you doing better. And I feel like this entire topic that I have discussed about becoming her, it reflected on how I had to learn the hard way that not everybody wants to see you win or wants to see you doing well. And I feel like that's a huge topic that I had to discuss today with you guys about becoming her. Because trust me, your girl, went through some experiences with friends. But these are the last words from Tima that I wanted to share with you all.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for doing this podcast. I'm very, very proud of you. I just think that doing this podcast that you're doing would definitely help others because, like I said, in this day and age, we know it's all about social media. It's all about social media. Everybody has their phones. Kids as young, my niece and nephews, they're always on the phone. And whether it's, TikTok, Instagram, whatever like that. And, you see this lifestyle that people are living, the influencers and everything like that. And, not knocking it because people are, really living that. But when you have kids growing up and they seeing that, and some kids, they take it personal because they figure, why can't my life look like that? Why? And not realizing that there will be a time for you. What's meant for you will be for you. And maybe the time frame right now is not for you, but we don't know what the future could hold. But so continue to work towards your passion, work towards your goals, and you will get there. And I just feel like you doing your podcast of glowing up, like become the best version of yourself really helps because if a person truly know themselves to the core, can't no one shake them. Can't no one have them do something they don't want to do. So I'm very, very thankful for you for doing this. I'm very proud of you for doing this. Because, girl, you going to reach people. And they going to feel touched because they're going to realize that, hey, I can relate to this. She's just like me. The stories she's telling, the experiences that she has, she's just like me. I don't feel out of reach. So, I'm proud of you. Keep doing you. Keep doing you, boo.
Thank you so much, Tima. But I definitely want to give a big thanks and thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. It means a whole lot, and this episode was very vital in the process of becoming her. As we wrap up season 1, I want to tell all my subscribers how thankful I am that you guys took the time out to support me and listen to my podcast and share podcasts on your Instagram stories. This is something that I enjoy doing and I hope to continue doing as life progresses and I continue to elevate myself. So if you're waiting for season 2, in the meantime, follow me on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and it's at Niecey's World. And you could grab a copy of my book, Niecey's Glow Up Blueprint, Your Guide to Becoming Your Best Self on Amazon, and you could get a digital copy on Etsy. I want to thank Fatima, Janelle, Shanae, and Gabby for all being guests on my podcast for season 1, and I hope to have them back for season 2. Keep growing, keep glowing, stay bougie, stay blessed. Bye!